all truth to the Most High, and not that counterfeit Yahweh who try and pose as the Most High. Well, this exposure today is called the Matrix, Myk Hyn or Myk Hyn Source. This is one of the codes that was in one of my last exposures, Hidden Softballs with a deceased friend and son. Let's see what's going on. Matrix. What vibes with it? Oasis. Haven. Illusion. Deception. Lies. Secret place. Pavilion. Tabernacle. Crypt. Hollow earth. Wilderness. Meadows of Egypt. What is an oasis? Here an oasis serving as a place of safety or sanctuary, or further tract in desert, water, table approaches the surface. There's a further tract in the desert where the water table approaches the surface. And you're going to see in this code about water, standing water. See, the code matrix means an illusion. You know, if you've been following my channel, you know when I talk about the matrix, I talk about a continuous loop, an illusion, deception. Well, this code matrix means an illusion. This is talking about where you will reside and your future residence. We know that an oasis is a mirage. It is not what you think. It is deceiving, like the secret place in Psalm 91, which talks about the shelter of the Most High. But in the next line, it talks about residing under the shadow of the Almighty, which is El Shaddai, who is Yahweh, who claims to be a safe haven, according to Psalms 27 and 5. In time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion, in the secret tabernacle. When this script plays out, you will be in some type of lair, den, or hut, something like a crypt. I talked about a courier or being pressed into public service, which vibes with epistle or letter. You know, they have all type of ways it's going to deceive you even in time. You will receive mail deceiving you that you have won a home, car, any type of luxury to get you to show up to a certain place for abduction. The law enforcement does it all the time. So, and this is just the beginning of the matrix code. I had to unscramble some words, and you get sass, which is to back talk, lip, mouth. See, this code here is about being opposed to one's interests. No one cares what the true man thinks. You're going to find out that you're like herd to them, cattle, fish, later on in this exposure. AAS stands for Applied Science, Technology, 5G. 5G cloaking, uncertainly, feather, wing, a cock or male fowl, ravens, eagles. See what's going on. This AAS is about science, which is part of the matrix source. Actually, a major part. This is about technology, 5G cloaking, confusion, uncertain, and doubting what you see. These shapeshifters are being exposed But the spell that many are under causes them not to believe because you are under the spell of the matrix. These nephilim angels and their God are nothing but beasts. Fire, which represents or coded language for birds, eagles, ravens, and cocks, with wings and feathers, under sheep clothing, just as their creator, Yahweh. Psalm 91:4 says, You shall dwell under his feathers, and under his wings shall you trust. They are in the image of their Father, their creator. Then you see this bound in a garment, sterilized, purged, innocence, impure, foul, unclean, pustule, inflammatory, sore. Proverbs 30:12, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. Someone or something here is being called filthy. Let's see what's going on. Once you have been compromised with the jab, you will become sterile, impure, foul, unclean, mixed or impregnated with an unwanted substance, pustule sores that will never stop dripping, always bound. You're going to see that word highlighted bound because it has different meanings in this code. Here you're bound in garments, gauze, bandages, and imprisoned. Leviticus chapter 13 talks about leprosy, rising scab, bright spots. All this coming from 3 different shots, 3 different jabs, with 3 different side effects on a deadly level. Now those that have taken the jab, you will become unsterile. You will become sterile. Mixed. All types of DNAs in you. You have no clue. You see, they're trying to make those who do not take the jab feel guilty, like we are the problem. But no, you are the walking dead, the zombies that have taken the jab. And then you see words like petition, required. Proverbs 30, chapter 30, verse 2, verse 7, 12, 14, 15, 16, 19, vibes with this. It's king. Then you see throne. Then you see rock is a throne. Serpent represents king. Proverbs 30 and 19 says, the way of a serpent upon a rock. Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword with the Lord. With Yahweh. Plead. The word plead means to judge with all flesh. And the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Brandishing, this means to be judged by his sword. Won't get into it. You have Proverbs chapter 30, verse 2. I am more brutish than any man. It advised with stupid cattle consumed as food. Cannibals. Proverbs 30 and 7. 2 things have I required of thee. Sorry about that. Proverbs 30 and 14. To devour the poor men off the earth and the needy from among men. Proverbs 30 and 15 talks about the horse leech. Proverbs 30 and 16 talks about the grave and the barren womb. So then you have vampire. And here's this word again. To bound, stall, crypt, subterranean, meadow of dancing, tame, grave, hell, pit, Hades, Doomsday, scorched to cook, nanotechnology, unseen, to kneel, departed souls, world of the dead, inmates, caught up, double palm, there's the water, world beneath the earth, identification chip, jab, seaman, gatekeeper, nephilim, pastor, days of Noah, gathering, rapture. 1 Thessalonians 4:17, Highlander, irresistible pool, fight for the prize, angel ascension, 144,000, God may God walk, sacrifices, rituals. Now let's see what all these things. I talked earlier about a king, a serpent upon a rock. Coded language in Proverbs 30:19, the king that sits upon a throne. The script reads, the way of a serpent that sits upon a rock. This is Yahweh sitting upon his throne, judging who lives or dies by his sword. Same sword Moses had, scepter. The moving basilic, the serpent king, uses a golden scepter, rod, staff, sword, to judge the people. Once again, Isaiah 66:16 speaks on Yahweh judging with a sword and slaying all flesh. I mentioned the true man being compared to as fish, merchandise, herds, sheep headed to slaughter, and cattle. This is all that the true man is: merchandise, food, something that they can sacrifice. In Proverbs 30 and 2, the script reads that the brutish man is, it is the nephilim who are trying to ascend to angel status. This is what it's all about. It's about ranking. These nephilims on this YouTube platform are trying to please Yahweh. And you're going to see the word 5 here later on. So they can ascend. They're the ones that talk about ascension and descending. The true man, we just keep the instructions. We live off of vibration, a frequency of the Most High. Theirs is totally different. You see, they are your cannibals, your vampires, who eat the true man as food, drink their blood, which does, and also having the true man participating in sacrifices and rituals, whether knowing or unknowing. You see, this goes against the Most High instructions placed in you. The true man, the Nephilim, and the hybrid types will be bound. They will be imprisoned inmates in a stall, a leg, a den, a crypt-like cell, taken to some subterranean beneath the earth residence, which is called the grave, the pit, hell, Hades, Tartarus, the abyss. This is what Doomsday is all about. Being whipped, beaten, raped, consumed as food, and punished. Revelation 9:6 scripts read, men will seek death and not find it. Your desire and longing will be to die, but you will not. It will scorch and cook the true man, probably even the nephilim and hybrids, just as the movie Doomsday. They cooked those military men that were coming in, strung them up and cooked them and passed them out, cut flesh off and threw it to the crowd. Bunch of cannibals and vampires, nephilim. You will kneel and bow down in this world of the dead and worship Yahweh. You see, this is the prison where the true man, the nephilim and hybrids, will be inmates. Then there is their God, Magog war. The script in Thessalonians 4:17 scripts about being caught up, which is a coded word. This code is about a double palm. Human apes in the days of Noah. See, the days of Noah vibes with a reservoir to flow down the rapture. The rapture has nothing to do with the sky. The rapture is about, as I've said over and over, being kidnapped, abducted, deceived, and taken to a subterranean place beneath the earth, a prison. There will be struggle, anguish, agony, permanent, continual, that will not cease punishment. When they bring you into this place of hell, they will be full of exceeding joy, exhortation, welcoming you to hell, while you are in those rods of iron and chains. You will be competing for your life. This is a game to them. This is their end game. I continue to say, you are the drove, the herd, left feeling destitute, always a struggle, a fight, a bloody face. Then the code speaks on dyed, like dyed fabrics, being fixed to a fiber or cell, bonding, there's the word bonding again. Diffusion, which means to spread of something through a certain time controlling temperature, which is nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is playing a big part in these end time games, just as magic, witchcraft, and sorcery. You see, this dying is how you will be identified. Like a prisoner in jail is recognized by the number he is given. Those that took the jab will be recognized through technology. The ID tag placed within you. Revelation 18:17. Then there is this word, seaman, a helmsman, a captain who steers a shipmaster, who will be transporting you by ship or boat. This is what the slave trade is all about, coded language for a very end time battle here that's coming real soon. You see, they are your gatekeepers, your nephilim, your pastors, those that are influencing you to take the jab or whatever goes against the Most High instructions. They pretend to be innocent, modest, clean, and pure. You see, it is vibes with Absalom, whose name means Father of Peace. And you know, how can this guy be a Father of Peace when he was trying to kill his father, David? They are who the world claims as well-doers and virtuous. Then there are your rituals and ceremonies through purifying, to consecrate, mentally regard with great respect, hallow, to sanctify, to baptize, any religious act keeps you in bondage to what's ready to happen. The word clouds in Thessalonians, being caught up in the clouds, means to struggle, anguish, and agony, non-stop pain. You see, this vibes with the movie Highlander. It vibes hard with the Matrix. Talks about the gathering, which is code for rapture. Taken to an irresistible pool, which is a reservoir, a double pond, coded language for end-time battle. They will fight for the prize, which is angel ascension, and being in the 144,000. This is the God made walk. And the true man who is keeping the instructions will watch the show. Wow. We still have more to go with this word matrix. Exodus 13:12. That thou shalt set apart unto the Lord Yahweh all that openeth the matrix, and every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the males shall be Yahweh's of a beast. True man is not called beast. Advised with the Genesis chamber. Let's go. Barren womb. Here, the barren womb means flagitious, illegal, abominable, awful, and unlawful thing. This is what this barren womb means right here. But then you have the womb, which is a well-doer, virtuous, them that do well, clean, pure, innocent, peace, honestly, sincerely, goodness, generous. It means to scorch, blackamoor. Do you see this word gone? I'm going to see it later on what it means. Ecclesiastically, Christian church, system, wild, demonic, beast of the field, created creation, resurrection, nanotechnology again, Jason X, church, funeral, wedding, foreign origin, birthing facility, fetuses, future population, reincarnation. Matthew 11:14. The script reads, and if you receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. John the Baptist, who is Elias, reincarnation. Land of the dead. The matrix, sometimes called the womb, but it is the barren womb, which has a totally different vibration than the womb. The matrix is coded language for what is called the Genesis chamber. It could be a Genesis room. Genesis, which means beginning. This is the unseen, subterranean place beneath the earth. This is a place where the demonic, wild beasts of the field and the beasts of the field reside. This is a part of Yahweh created creation. Resurrection takes place here, where nanotechnology has been perfected. One of the codes said to breathe unconsciously, breathe in and out, to blow out, circumambient, mean to surround. This is where the foreign origin is created. This is their birthing facility where they grow fetuses, getting ready for their future population and their reincarnation. Departed souls go here for reincarnation. About going into the light. Surf, I believe, did a great job at exposing what light is. How light has his own conscience. I don't know if I explained it, but you can be sitting down and you see something walk by, like a shadow or something. But when you look up, you see nothing. It's because light has a conscience. It knows when it's been looking at, when someone's looking at it. Don't go into the light. You saw when I was talking about church, funeral, wedding. To be married in a church, to be buried in a funeral home, creates soul ties. Because the church belongs to Yahweh, the funeral homes, all of this belongs to Yahweh. And you go into covenant with him in that area. Pay attention and be careful. True man. You see, this is what Matthew 11:14 is about. John the Baptist being Elias. Just created characters. All part of Yahweh's created creation. All this taking place upon and beneath the land of the dead. Job chapter 1 verse 7. Satan answered Yahweh where he was going. He said going to and fro in the earth, walking up and down it, in and out, ascending and descending upon the land of the dead. You see, Yahweh is creating his own race of people. You see the Nephilim who have sold their souls, trying to ascend to angel status. They comply whatever the Yahweh says. Willing to do it. To compete. They're competing right now. To dumb down and keep dumb down as many souls as they can. Many true ones. Myk or Myk. The Spirit was giving me all kind of, had me study. But then, the Most High revealed to me how to break down some more gematria. Let's give you proper. Myk or Myk is a perishing destruction committed by the blundering father of error, who is about ceremonies, sacrifices, and rituals. It is about angels and pastors who are called messengers, who are deceiving Nephilims, teaching lies, deceptions, and manipulations. Why? They're trying to ascend to angel status. This Myk or Myk represents father, possessor of might. Someone who is committed to Yahweh's work, willing to comply, already consented and made covenant to Yahweh and his beast system, whether you know it or unknown. And this hen or hind is a ritual of child rape or pedophilia. It talks about the pure ones, chastity. It's talking about virgins, kids and women who are being virgins, which is pushed by the bull, the chiefest, the mighty one, which is Yahweh. They're always trying to sacrifice virgins for eternal right. It's all in your movies. This is a vibration to keep things the same. This is how they stay in authority. They continue to give you to commit their ritual sacrifices. They stand power. People are waking up. The true man is waking up, though. The rains are falling. Chains are being broken. And you see, this coded word is also about mocking, laughing at. If you remember the movie Ten Commandments, when they laugh at Samson before he pushes down the Colosseum, notice where the king that sat upon the throne up high. Watch. He also laughed. This word also means to destroy, to perish. Not just the true man. They have their time too. They have their time too. And then you have source. You have this word sis, S-I-S, that comes from unscrambling of oasis. A female, a blood brother, family, religion, fraternity, brotherhood, Christian. I put Christian there, but it doesn't matter because this code is about religion, no matter which it is. Religion is about blood cutting covenant with sacrifice blood, whether it's a human, nephilim, hybrids, true man, and animals. Everything you see here, it's about code. Code on politics, religion, the education system, the commerce. I've talked about it. Surfer Nigga has talked about it. Put it like this. Everything except the 12 instructions on the inside of you is the code. It's the source of the matrix. Fraternities, which consist of police departments, joining college frats, Freemasonry, church, and those considered family through a church of the setting of soul. Wow. Then you have SOS, a distress signal, a radio code, which is a frequency, a vibration. This code is about how the beast source system operates through frequency, vibration, radio signals, and codes. Come out of the Stonehenge time of thinking. We are now in the digital world. It's a yes. All of this is part of the beast system, the source, the Myk Hyn Source. Poisonous, metallic element, allotropic, arsenic compounds, herbicides, insecticides, alloy, atoms, compounds, element, chemical reaction, change DNA, form, physically. You see, elements are substances that are made from one type of atom. Compounds are substances made from atoms of different elements, joined by chemical bonds. That's that word again. Bonds. The tying together of something. Whether it's in prison to be bound, whether it's bandaging with gauzes to cover your wound. Then it comes down to science, elements, atoms, substances that bonds together. And then you see this linearizability, which is about overlaying time. You know, time is supposed to be a continuous stream. But no, they have manipulated it to keep it running. That's why I feel that the days and the weeks are going by faster. It's because we're living in a programmed society, ran by software, ran by science. You have music, television. I say once again, radio, light, electricity. All of this is part of the matrix. Myk Hyn Source. All truth has been hidden, and we have been programmed with their given science to believe. Their science is their technology, which is what they claim to be spiritual. It's not about spirit with them, it's about science and technology. The religion Scientology is the study of science and telling you how to ascend to a higher level of vibration. You see, they are your nephilim, teachers, pastors, government officials, and these nephilims on YouTube platform posing as the true man, trying to ascend to angel status when they are nothing but wild beasts of the field, hidden by an outer layer, human apes. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. We are not ignorant of his devices, and we're not. At some point now, you should understand that on the left side, you have the beast system and everything that comes with it. What I've just explained, school, politics, all of that. Going to sporting events, all of that. Going to church, it doesn't matter what you call out. Everything is a ritual, if you put it first. Everything is a sacrifice. We're not ignorant of his devices. You have all this stuff that's on the left side. But then you have the Most High, who stands alone. It's called the right side, who sits back and observes. Does he say anything? He doesn't have to say anything. Why? Because the Most High has placed in you, once again, those 12 instructions. Some call them commandments. But they are the way, the only way to live by, to keep you morally correct, to put restraints and limits on how the true man should move around in Yahweh's beast system. You know, I told you the last exposure by the Book of Blues talks about men's hearts will fail them or faint because of what's getting ready to come onto the earth. Well, the jab is here. And you see how people are in fear, running to get the jab, selling their souls, about to become zombies, cannibals, just like they are. So they will make the true man the same way. This is their end game. Turn back to the Most High. Keep the instructions the way. So we can sit back and watch the show. All praise to the Most High. All truth to the Most High. Because I'm starting to have some doubt about that word praise. We just keep the commandments. All truth to the Most High. And not that counterfeit Yahweh who poses as the Most High. Be blessed, man.